What can I say? I'm a morning person.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to a Brawl Stars mini featuring Gimli, Mournful Avenger. Some of you may have noticed that I now have memberships live on my page, and one of our membership redemptions, if you get the big dog level, is that you get to request a deck for me to build. And our first person, Zach, chose Gimli, Mournful Avenger as the commander for me to brew. Gimli, Mournful Avenger wants you to have creatures that die, because the more of your creatures that die, the bigger he gets, becoming indestructible, and then fighting your opponent's creatures. Gimli, Mournful Avenger is a little strange flavor-wise, because he's supposed to be mourning the fallen dwarves of the past, when in Arena, he's actually mourning the creatures that we, the person controlling the deck, are intentionally killing, because this is a unusual deck in that it is a Gruul sacrifice deck. We have things like Goblin Bombardment and creatures that sacrifice themselves in order to get Gimli to get bigger, so we can just trample over our opponents, stomp them down, and swing in for lethal. Gimli is also well backed by some good Gruul cards, because Gruul has a lot of things that are very powerful, like Anzrag the Quake Mole, that play really nicely with the various indestructible effects that we're also running for Gimli, because it's hard to get two creatures to die intentionally before combat, so you may as well just give them a little bit of indestructible with the Mithril Coat. Also, like any good Gruul deck, we want to stop those counterspells, give our creatures haste, fight things, and get tons of creatures into play. So we're going to get Gimli into the queue, and we're going to kill all of his friends for fun and profit. Urza, Lord Protector. This is the meld Urza. I played against one of these before with this deck. We were able to squeak out a victory even after they had melded, just because we were super wide. I have a lot of ramp in this hand, which I'm going to say is actually really nice. We have the ability to double up some lands too, and I can even play Gimli early. Yay, Gimli! I'm not going to play Gimli early. This is probably going to have some artifact synergies, since, well, he makes artifacts cost less, and then be well supported by other good cards. Let's throw down Hawk, get the double land. I can't copy Shatter Skull Smashing with Hawk. It sadly does not work. I don't have white mana yet. There's white mana. They could play Urza. Nope, the Celestus. And a Fateful Absence against Hawk. Okay, cool. I have 2 mana, so I'll just crack the clue. Lightning Bolt does not kill Urza. Play Vivian here. You Vigilant Beast. That's the turn. Lorien revealed they're drawing cards. And part of why I wanted Vivian is because she dodges creature-based board wipes. We draw that forest. That is Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I'd like to move that off the top of my deck, so I'm going to minus when I play Legion War Boss. Goblin Crater Maker is probably what I'm going to want a little later in the game, but it would give me a way to destroy a colorless thing. We have many things here that can destroy those. But I know what I want. I want Hajar. This is me trying to hedge my bets against a counterspell. Or, sorry, not a counterspell, a board wipe. I can only keep, like, Gimli alive, but if Gimli is indestructible when all the other creatures die, Gimli gets huge. Okay, well that's River's Rebuke. Doing damage to your face because I can. Everybody back in hand! Dang it! Boo, opponent! spawning pod. This is going to be semi-random what it gets out of the deck. Still really fun. Legion Warboss. Birds of Paradise. Jar. Okay, so I don't have to discard. Rebuild the board a little bit. Ugin, who cannot be F'd, discounts her colorless spells by 2. Yo, rip to my Legion Warboss, though. Surprised they're not throwing down anything else here. Slightly concerned about that. They have 2 mana. Could be a counterspell. So far, it isn't. Watch it just be like farewell. I'm surprised they weren't able to play anything else after Ugin. Okay, here comes Urza. Urza, who will discount their artifacts, instants, and sorceries. I will drop Spawning Pod, keeping Castle Embereth, because I think it would be really rad here. Swinging in with all of these. There was also like a really cute line of killing everything on the board, making Gimli indestructible. But most of these deal more than 1 damage since we had the castle. Auto war on a goblin. Sure, alright. March on a token. At least they're down to 5. They can gain a life, draw a card, discard a card. Hey, you should play Urza again, and then you should transform your Ironcrag, because it wants to be transformed so bad. Life remain. Why are you looking at your cards like this? I don't like it. I don't like that you're counting mana. And Karn. Wonder if they'll make a Karn struct or if they'll just dig into their deck. Nope, they're making the blocker. Again, gaining a life. They're up to 7. Vivian, Monster's Advocate. Do I have a creature on top of my deck? I do not. Going to minus, using Gimli to grab one of our various ways to destroy stuff. Actually, how many goblins do I have? I just have the 1. We have the fling on top of our deck. A yeet is incoming. Alright, I have a signet. I've already been rebuked, but I haven't been rifted. It looks like they don't have it. And that's just fine and dandy for me. GG, Urza. Soul of Windgrace. Soul of Windgrace is a land bringer backer. Takes lands out of either player's graveyards and brings them right into play. Soul of Windgrace can also become indestructible, or discard a land and draw a land, or draw a card, or can gain you life, all for the low price of 1 mana. Because this is the alchemy version of the card where they discounted this. In the paper version of the card, this costs 1 mana, this costs 2, and this costs 3, I believe. But they all have the same discard a land in order to enable. Great way to get lands into your graveyard, or his abilities. But you can also just use, like, fetch land. Really, not keeping a Bitter Triumph on top. Alright, Fanatic of Ronus. Something that can maybe get me some extra mana. It is dead. That's okay. I'll play Gimli. Next turn, probably just gonna bring this out of the graveyard because it's a really good card. Valkut Exploration. That is a good landfall card. It's gonna be dealing damage to me. Or just giving them access to more cards. Nice. Tireless Provisioner is going to get them more landfall. This is landfall make mana. This allows them to sacrifice lands to get lands of their choice. But I just want to say, heck yeah, we got Fanatic of Ronus here. Or Chasm. Goblin Crater Maker. And I'm immediately going to use this to kill the Tireless Provisioner so they do not get any tokens. This also buffs up Gimli. So we swing in. Taking out their Lotus Cobras, their Nissas, their Tireless Provisioners is really important, since otherwise the amount of ramp that they generate means that Soul of Windgrace isn't just refunding part of its mana cost by bringing a land back, it's banking up additional mana for other spells. Nice. Spelunking makes it so all lands will come in untapped for them. That is a board wipe. It is a board wipe they cannot play. That's a Liliana of the Veil. That's a Liliana of the Veil they cannot play. But Elvish Reclaimer could make it so they can play one of those. If they pay to sacrifice a land, they can actually get a land in untapped. Specifically, they can get Lotus Field, which taps for 3 mana of any color. It's a lot better with Spelunking because it comes in untapped. Utopia Sprawl? Sure. Okay. Trying to decide if I want to, like, go for Chasm first. Go for anything here. Orbis. Oh, that was very like, oh no, please don't block my creature. Gimli's just, like, waiting for the goblin to die. He's celebrating the death of the goblin. A Warbus, a Bloomhang. Thank you for the 49-month resub. They are not Blocking Chasm. This is the third land in graveyard, by the way, so this will be a 3/4. Okay, when this goes to the graveyard, then it's 3 in the graveyard, right? There we go. I'm fine with that. Nice Edict. See what Chasm finds. Land, Cankerbloom. Under Dracosaur, and I'm gonna destroy the Valakut exploration. They could still play these until their next end step. But we've already seen, like, one board wipe go to... Is it on the bottom of their deck? No, in the graveyard. It's in the graveyard. Deadly cover-up. Rubu! Thank you for the 10-month resub! Will Stasis-type decks ever come back? They're certainly still present in Commander. They don't work as well in 1v1, though, because you can't do the politics of prison as well. Don't you want to lose 2 life? Don't you just want to go crazy, Soul of Windgrace? Oh, they pushed the token. They edict me, I'm just sacrificing Goblin. Thoughtseize. I have a Scoot Swarm, a Ragavan, and a Halfling. Let's see what we get off the Bonehorde Dracosaur. Getting us even more creatures, hopefully. Yep, creature and a treasure. Nice. Trying to decide between setting off the Scoot to swing with Gimli. I think we're just about at lethal, though. Yeah, no, we have lethal because of the trample on Chasm or Den of the Bugbear attacking in. Either way, we're quite good. GG, Soul of Windgrace. Jin-Gitaxias. I definitely want a mulligan here because I have nothing until turn 3. All right, we got a sacrificeable, a sacrificer, whatever goblins, a Tali. That seems fine. This is a Jin-Gitaxias that draws a card when you cast a non-creature spell that costs 3 or more mana, like a counter spell. Costs 3 or more mana. Or a mana rock. There's a lot of things that you can use to trigger Jin-Gitaxias. Okay, they have discounted all their blue spells. I do not like that. But I am very happy to say I just got a Domri. So Domri is going to prevent counter spells. At least for my creatures. So that is very nice to have in play, even though it took the sacrifice of our Goldhound to get it down early while they were tapped out. I'll take it. Get ourselves a little bit of red mana and throw down Gimli. Now, I could play one of these, but these are counterable even with Domri out, since it's only creature spells can't be countered. Good enough. Good enough. Also, yes, my chat bullied me into crafting the porcupine Domri. Weird little dude. He's a porcupine in the art. I think. Weird tree-dwelling spiky boys. They could have bolted that in and got out Jin-Gitaxias, and they didn't. And I don't like that. I'm gonna try to get one of these 2 enchantments to resolve. Oh, possibly both of them will resolve? And if I don't want to, they could blast zone it. Look at memory lapse. Is this a hedgehog? Oh, I thought it was a porcupine. Here, Ginny, Ginny, Ginny. I actually have a card in my deck that turns things into Phyrexians, which would make this second chapter of the saga a little worse. They gotta fill up their hand, though, first, to get Jin to flip. Hello, I'm Gimli. Okay, no, I'm not letting you steal my commander! Thankfully, he's exquisitely sacrificable. Like the best of us. I'm very close now to uncounterable Atali next turn, and that makes me very happy. Gimli, return! Listen, we all have hedgehogs on the mind because of Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog in the upcoming movie. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm not like the biggest Sonic fan, but Shadow the Hedgehog is the ultimate life form. How can you not love him? And he has a weird, tragic backstory. Okay, Gilded Lotus. Jin-Gitaxias. They're tapped out, so... I could go for, like, killing Jin. But I'd rather go for Atali. Big uncounterable Atali. Let's see what we steal. It's probably gonna be nothing worth casting off the top. Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll be like a mana rock. Oh wait, somebody has something free in their hand. All right, yes, Krenko. I did actually get a mana rock. Oh, that's perfect. Even better. I have enough legendary creatures here. I'm trying to decide if I want to attack him with Gimli this turn. I'm going to attack him with Gimli. Block me, you won't. Block me, you won't. Bam! If I wanted to keep Gimli alive, I could have sacrificed a second creature to give him indestructible. But I think these two are just worth more on the board. I love how Dami has just been sitting here waiting to fight. No, you're making my creatures uncounterable. I'll discard the land. Alright, is this a Cyclonic Rift turn? I'm gonna say probably. I'm not gonna go for Flip Atali because I think it's too likely that they cause me some trouble. I'm gonna go for Big Krenko off of the Restless Ridgeline, making a ton of tokens, all of which are being buffed by Domri, and all of which can be sacrificed with the Goblin Bombardment. Yeah, they're hitting us with a GG. They didn't have whatever it is that they needed to survive here. Blast Zone would be able to get rid of our 2-drops, but that's just the Goblin Bombardment. GG, Jin. Nahiri, Forged in Fury. She gets a discount based on the number of equipment you have, and if you attack in with an equipped creature, you can get free equipment, or just, like, exiled cards that you can then use. Good either way. I have some removal for colorless non-land permanents in my hand. That counts you, Shadow Spear. No, they shoved my bird before I could even get Gimli out to mourn it. What a funny card. I think it's very funny. The Gimli's just out here like, oh no, not the bird. I had an emotional connection to that bird, maybe. I'm not sure. This was the canary in the coal mine. Let's just keep gobbling. We want the Legion War Boss out before combat, since it spits out goblinis. He's a Johnny on downers? Oh my gosh. Don't ask why Gimli is hanging out with so many goblins. That's rude. Nahiri still gets her discount. I get my mentorship. Goblins kind of exist. Think of the song Down, Down to Goblin Town. Goblins are like a subset of orc in Lord of the Rings. I think they just refer to smaller orcs. Please don't quote me on that. I'm not a Lord of the Rings person. I've just watched the animated Hobbit enough to have Down, Down to Goblin Town live rent-free in my head. Oh no! You're laughing. You forced Gimli to grieve for orcs and you're laughing. Oh my gosh. I heard that the Rings of Power Season 2 is pretty good. I liked the first season. I thought it was really pretty. They're just orcs. Aww. Well, for that, I'm not even gonna use my Goblin Bombardment. I'm gonna keep taking out your creatures. And that creature was also an equipment, so, like, double bonus. What is this? Goblins are to orcs as orcs are to Uruk-hai. Well, Uruk-hai are like the elite orcs, right? Like they're the best orcs. They're the Smorkin orcs. Nailed it. Cool. Next turn we had a lot of damage between goblins and sacrifice. And all works out in our favor. GG, Nahiri. The Necrobloom. They're gonna go wide by making tokens. They make tokens by having lands enter play, which is going to be very hard for us because they can go wide way more efficiently than we can. They're saying hello. Hey, check out my mighty might. Grist! Oh, I love Grist. Let's get discounts on red and green things. Such as, for example, my commander. It's fun to put this into Gruul decks. I had somebody asking me about, like, putting medallions in two-color decks before, and my answer was just, like, in this deck, a Narcomancer. Only the Narc. Never done this before. And now I'm suddenly very excited to do it. A double discount. Now they can destroy the Springheart Nantuko using the Outland Liberator, a card that's also in our deck. But now I get double discounts! 1 mana Fable of the Mirror Breaker, the way it was always meant to be. Yep, there goes the Nantuko. Very fair. 3 mana Orchasm! Gimli's like, when am I going to come out? Later. Pest infestation. They do have the Lantern of Revealing, but that can be... I don't know. I don't feel like I need to make more tokens here. And I am going to offer them a trade, one of my Narcomancers for Grist. Now that I have Caslim out. Here comes the Necrobloom, unfortunately able to block or Caslim really, really efficiently. Oh, now I have to pay 2 whole mana for the Fable of the Mirror Breaker? That's bunk. Ooh, Vivian. I'll play the Fable. Gimli. There's no great attack for me here, because just, like, attacking in to intentionally kill, say, like, the insect token doesn't put Gimli at a particularly helpful power. Am I wearing a Celtic shirt right now? Sure am. OCs. Ooh, they're reclaiming! That is a lot of landfall, and that's going to be a lot of zombies. So I have a couple board wipes that would kill all zombies. I would love to get one of them here. Let's drop the Halfling and Cankerbloom. Cankerbloom's best thing here would probably be proliferating to flip over Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Show me what's on top of my deck. There's a land.
This is my paradise. Diversity is our greatest strength.
I'm surprised they let Caslim hit. I thought that they were just gonna, like, quadruple block it with zombies. That is Zoprindel. I'm gonna go for a Command Tower over Sanctum, even though Sanctum's really fun. Zoprindel allows me to pay life to sacrifice my creatures on demand, which is cool and rad and awesome. Yeah, zombies. We all know you've got them. They probably suspected that I had some form of damage, because I did have Lightning Bolt if they were just going to absorb the hit with Necrobloom. Yeah, he doubles toughness and power. Whatever, that's cool. That's a problem right there. They're at 4. So close to lethal. So close. It's fine. See, I have one creature with reach. Get him! Sometimes the other Craterhoof Behemoth is still Craterhoof Behemoth. GG Necrobloom. Thank you for watching this itty-bitty episode of Brawl Stars, and thank you again to Zach for becoming a member of the channel at the high tier and suggesting Gimli Mournful Avenger. Definitely a tricky brew, but it was fun getting to experiment with the various sacrifice outlets that we have in Gruul colors. Goblin Bombardment, you didn't see it in the video, but I had some games before I started recording where we got to go off with this. It turns out that Krenko, Goblin Bombardment, things like Skirk Prospector, all of those are fantastic with Gimli. So maybe Gimli is just out here celebrating the deaths of the goblins rather than mourning the deaths of his fellow dwarves. Gimli's pretty cool, though. Definitely one of those Lord of the Rings commanders that you almost never see. So I'm glad we had the opportunity to brew it. If you're looking for the deck list, it's in the description below. And if you too would like to submit a commander for me to build, they won't all get videos because some of them I just won't have time to get to, but I will be brewing a deck and sending the deck to whoever suggested them no matter what. It will be tested. I'll be playing it on stream, so like I can also link you to the VOD of when I played it on the stream. They're all gonna have some gameplay associated with them because I love playing Brawl and I love building Brawl decks. There's always more decks to build. You can always become a member of the channel. There's a link below. It'll be like support the channel. You can click on it. Or YouTube will just be like, you can become a member of Amy's channel. Help support my channel. Yeah! Thank you so much for watching and have a brawlful day.